Hi, I'm Liliana, a teacher with Calmer Choice. Today, we are going to talk about habits of the mind. One of the biggest habits of our mind is jumping from past to future, past to future. Sometimes skipping entirely what is happening right here, right now. Not noticing what is around us in the present moment. And if we are not noticing what is happening now, that means that we are distracted by our own thoughts. And those thoughts can have an effect on us because thinking and feeling are intertwined. And I'm going to give you an example. Imagine that you have an important job interview. Perhaps you will start thinking weeks ahead of all the possible scenarios, rehearsing what you would say, what they would say, and imagining what can possibly go wrong. As we do that, we might start to feel a pressure in our stomach, shallow breath, and maybe an increase of appetite, especially for those brownie cookies or the chocolate ice cream. Yes, we're starting to feel anxious. And that has an explanation. Scientists have discovered that 80% of the thoughts that we have in a day are redundant. We think over and over about the same things, and most of them are negative. So it's not the event itself that is making us feel anxious, but the thoughts that we are having, that inner dialogue that we are having about that situation is what is triggering our stress response. In other words, what makes us feel anxious. But what can we do when we are starting to feel that way? Especially in this moment, where all of us are going through a collective challenging situation. A situation that is unprecedented for many of us in our lifetime. We can take this event as an opportunity and learn from it. It can teach us to notice what is happening inside us. The first step is to start being aware of what we are thinking. Noticing our thoughts. Noticing how we feel when we are lost in our thoughts. Stop and notice. What are you thinking? And how those thoughts make you feel? In our current situation, we can notice as well if those thoughts are triggered by overinformation, by constantly watching the news or being on social media. And if those thoughts remain even when we are not watching the news. Perhaps that would be a good moment to stop and notice. We are not judging how we feel. We are only noticing how we feel. Once you are aware of the thoughts that you are having, you can bring curiosity to how that feels in your body. Is there a particular place in your body where you feel that anxiety? In the example I gave before, I mentioned feeling a pressure on the stomach, shallow breath, and increased appetite. But how does that look for you? How does anxiety feel in your own body? How can I meet that emotion mindfully? The main key is grounding ourselves in the present moment, choosing to let go of the mental future scenarios and anchoring ourselves to what is happening right here, right now. We can use our breath, being aware of when we breathe in and when we breathe out. And it is not breathing deeply while keeping in our mind the triggering thought. No, it's not like that. It is being completely focused on our breath, noticing that we are breathing in and noticing that we are breathing out. Another tool is using your sense perception, noticing the sounds around you, stopping and listening. You might be surprised to discover the bird orchestra out in the yard, or the sound of the wind, or the sound of your own breathing, or perhaps something else. You can practice this as often as you need in an informal way. Wherever you are, remember, you can always stop and notice. You can also set up a special moment of the day where you can formally take a few minutes, sitting with your eyes closed, following your breath, feeling what is around you with all your senses. If your mind wanders, as it will do, noticing and labeling thoughts and letting them go with kindness to yourself. Telling only thinking. If this is a good time for you, I invite you to have a mindful moment with me. If not, you can pause here and come back once you are ready. Mindfulness is a skill. Please don't feel discouraged if you notice that you can't focus right away. It will get better as we practice. Finding a comfortable position, sitting up straight, and closing your eyes if that feels comfortable for you. Turning your attention to listening to sound of the bell. The beginning, the middle, and stay with the sound all the way until the end. Settling, relaxing, feeling your feet on the floor, hands on your lap, focusing and putting your attention on your breath. Just breathe as you normally do, feeling your natural, regular breath. You don't have to think about it. It just happens. There is no work. Just resting in the comfort of your breath. Breathing in and breathing out. Following the breath as it is inhaled and as it is exhaled. Noticing when a thought arises. Labeling. Thinking. Can you notice if it is about the past or about the future? And then returning to the breath. Just noticing the thinking, and returning to the object of your focus, sound or breath. noticing that the hand moment, noticing the attention, thinking, and then returning the attention to the breath or wherever you are placing focus. For now, allow your thoughts to quiet, your inner world to become still, and wait patiently. In a moment, I'll ring the bell. Listening to sound of bell, the beginning, the middle, and see if you can stay with the sound all the way until the end. When you are ready and on purpose, choose to bring your focus back to your room. Thank you. See you later with more mindful moments. Bye bye.